Good afternoon, everybody. I hope you're well. It's Ben Cooper here, the head of primary. We're just going to give it 1 or 2 more minutes while we just wait for the people in the waiting room to join us, and then we'll begin. Okay. Good afternoon, everybody. I hope you're well. First and foremost, just a few formalities. You please make sure your microphones are on mute, and feel free to keep your cameras on if you're happy for your face to be seen. But just to give you a heads up that we will be recording this session for parents that can't make it today. So if you prefer not for your face, not to be recorded, then feel free to keep your cameras off. And so I would just like to welcome all of you to the Academy. Today's session is just an opportunity for us to touch base with some of our new families that will be joining us here in September. We're very excited for you to be joining us at the Academy, whether you're moving from somewhere else in Dubai or whether you're moving country and joining us here in the UAE. It's just a chance to just give you a bit of a taste of what we're about here at the Academy and for you to ask any questions. And there will be other parents' engagements moving forward, where to provide you opportunities to meet some of your children, your family's teachers and head of years. But today is just about giving you a taste of what we're about here at the Academy and just to give you some key pieces of information. So first of all, I'd like to welcome you to the community. Welcome to the family here at Germany's Wellington Academy, Khail. My name is Ben Cooper and I am the head of primary here at WEC. I've been here for 9 years at the Academy in various capacities. So I started off as a year 6 teacher. I led upon things like teaching and learning and head of year 5 and year 6, data and assessment. And I've now been head of primary for the past 3 years. So it's a pleasure to be welcoming you today. And I really look forward to seeing you face to face at the end of August. To just give you a bit of a flavour of what we're about at the Academy, and particularly the primary school, is I would just like to talk to you about our vision. So our vision statement is we aspire for students to aspire, create and excel in the world that is, in order for them to create the world that will be. And ultimately what we want our children to do at the Academy is thrive, enjoy themselves, excel and explore in everything that we offer here at the Academy, so that they can grow up to believe that they can make a difference to whatever they do in the future. And we do that with three main focuses. So the first one is our science of learning pillar. Now, there's a bit of a misconception with that pillar that it's about science teaching. And whilst we're very passionate about science as a subject, the science of learning is about how we deliver our teaching and learning across the whole Academy. The science of learning is really about educating our teachers, not just on ways of teaching in the classroom, but how children learn and what goes on in their brain that informs us on what effective learning looks like. So all of our teachers here at the Academy are UK qualified. We train them on what is referred to as the science of learning, which is how the brain learns best, not just for children, but for everybody, so that they are better informed in the classroom. And ultimately what that means is our teachers engage in research of how people learn best, the best ways to share knowledge with students in different subjects in order to really enhance that learning. I describe it in a simple way in terms of driving a car. Most of us know how to drive a car, but not all of us know how the engine works. But by ensuring we know how the engine works, i.e. the brain, we can better use our cars and get the best out of them, which is why we're not all Formula 1 drivers, but the best drivers are. And so it's about making the most of the student's brain and how the student and teaching the children how to use them themselves in order to enhance what's going on in the classroom. The second pillar is social enterprise, and that's really our values pillar. We want children to grow up with the idea that they can make a difference to the world through entrepreneurial means, whether it be being creative and coming up with new ideas to make the world a better place, or by being entrepreneurs, the idea that they can make something better from an internal capacity, whether that be in the company that they work for in terms of or being a doctor, whatever it might be, that they can make a difference. And it's really about making the world a better place, which is why we focus not just on enterprise, but social enterprise. The final key pillar is student agency and innovation. We want children to be creative, but we also want students to take ownership of themselves. We want them to, what is referred to, have agency. We want children to take ownership of their learning, the progress that they're making, and be proud of the success that they're having in school. And we do that in very kind of simple ways by allowing children to have choice in the classroom of challenges that we're offering them, but we also give them wider leadership opportunities. So across the primary school, we have lots of student leadership opportunities. The students are part of Eco Warriors or the Student Council or our e-safety team. And ultimately, our children are equally as responsible as our teachers for making our community a fantastic place. And so those three pillars really make up who we are and our identity as a school. And so this is something we're very passionate about and we aim to deliver every single day. I'm going to hand you over now to some of our primary leadership team, who I'm going to introduce now. So first of all, I'm going to introduce Ms. Paula Finn, who is our Vice Principal. She looks over our student experience and culture. We're also going to hand over to Mr. Waterworth, who's our Vice Principal, who looks over the curriculum and assessment. And then Miss Georgina Bradley, who is our assistant principal, who shares a responsibility with Miss Finn of looking over student behaviour, culture and experience. So they're going to talk you through a few other bits and pieces today to keep you informed and talk you through how you can prepare for September. So I'm going to hand over now to Paula, Phil and Georgie, who are going to lead the rest of the session. Thank you.
Thanks, Ben. Thanks for the introductions. Yeah, my name's Mr. Phil Waterworth. I'm currently a primary assistant principal, but will be taking on the role of vice principal from September. I'm going to start with the national curriculum, so the UK national curriculum. And on the screen, you'll see some phrases that you'll be getting used to, especially if you are new to the British system. And that is our key stages. So when you join from September, you'll hear lots of people talk about Key Stage 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5. Now this is a primary specific webinar. However, we have put Key Stage 4 and 5 on there just so that you're aware of those year groups that we will be talking about if we refer to those key stages. So when we refer to Key Stage 1, we are referring to the year groups Year 1 and Year 2. When we refer to Key Stage 2, we are referring to year groups Year 3, 4, 5 and 6. When we refer to Key Stage 3, we are in secondary and we are referring to Year 7, 8 and 9. When we refer to Key Stage 4, that is our Year 10 and Year 11 pupils. And then Key Stage 5 would be our sixth form pupils, which is Year 12 and Year 13. So I just thought it'd be really nice to start with that, especially for families who are maybe not have not studied in the British curriculum before, who are moving to British curriculum from September. On the right hand side, what you'll see is some subjects. Okay, so the national curriculum sets the standards and expectations that we follow. Obviously, we tailor the curriculum and make it very bespoke to our school and our students so that they have that personalised learning throughout their journey with us. But you will see the differences in subjects and who teaches these. So we have our class teachers. Those are the teachers you'll probably have the most contact with, and it is the students your children will have the most contact time with in the classroom as well. So our class teachers will teach subjects on the left-hand side. So your English, which incorporates your reading, your writing, and your spoken language, maths, science, moral, social, and cultural studies. So moral, social, and cultural studies is finding out all about the UAE, its heritage, and delving a little bit deeper into that aspect. We also have projects for change, Grow Well, STEAM and Robotics, and Computing. Now, Projects for Change is something that might be new, but this is a subject that is really driven through our social enterprise pillar that Ben touched upon earlier. This incorporates the subjects that you may be familiar with in geography, history, art, and design technology. And it is very much driven by that pillar of social enterprise and the UN sustainability goals. So students really having a really good understanding of world events and how they can take action and support things moving forward within the world. Grow Well is all about students' well-being, which is really important to us at the school, and to really track and monitor throughout the year. STEAM and Robotics is a multidisciplinary approach to learning. It focuses on skills such as critical thinking, innovation, and creativity. And I'm sure that if you did manage to have a tour with us, that at some point you may have visited our STEAM room. And last but not least, Computing, which looks at those basic computer skills, coding, and digital literacy. On the right-hand side, we have our specialist subjects. So these are subjects that are taught by our specialist team at the Academy. So we have our Arabic colleagues. So all students are mandated to attend Arabic. That would either be Arabic A or Arabic B. The Arabic A is for our native speakers. Arabic B is for our non-native speakers. We also have Islamic for our Muslim families only. We have the languages French and Spanish. We have performing arts in years 1, 5, and 6. We also have music. We have PE, and also our PE team lead on swimming as well. So that's just an overview of key stages and some of the most of the subjects that you will that students will be taking part in throughout their week here once they start studying at the Academy. Now, just in terms of timings, really simply put on the screen. So from years 1 to year 4, and in year 5 and year 6, our drop-off is from 7:15 till 7:45 a.m. on a morning, which is a staggered drop-off. And that is the same on a Monday to Thursday and on a Friday as well. You will see that the differences are on a Monday to Thursday, our pickup time for years 1 to 4 is 3 p.m. However, our year 5 and 6 pickup is 3:10. You'll also see that the one big difference between Monday and Thursday and Friday is the actual Friday pickup. So Friday pickup for years 1 to 4 is 11:50 a.m. and then pickup is at midday on Friday for years 5 and 6. And that is the same across all schools in Dubai on the Friday pickup. We also have our ECAs, our extracurricular activities, which we will touch upon later in the presentation. And they take place on a Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday after school. And they will take place from 3:15 until 4:10. I'm going to pass you over to...
Hello, good afternoon. I'm Georgina Bradley. I'm one of the assistant principals here at Wellington Khail. And a small part of my job here at Wellington Khail is to monitor the attendance and punctuality of our students. It is really important that we are aiming for 100% attendance from all of our students here at the Academy. Obviously, sometimes children are sick or might be ill. If this is the case, it is really important that you report that absence to us here at the Academy by 7:30 in the morning. And you can do that by emailing our absence team on the email below. It's really important that you do so early because we need to prepare the fire registers for the day. So if you email it by 7:30, we're able to update our fire registers to make sure everything is really accurate. It is really important that you pick up and you drop off your children on time. We have a number of children that, a number of staff that run ECAs after school. They are also involved in meetings, planning meetings, meeting with parents, etc. So it's really important that we don't eat into that time for our staff after school. So it's really important that you pick up your children on time, please. We are monitoring our pick up and drop off times. So any children that are consistently late, we will be emailing parents just as a reminder to make sure that you are on time in the future. If you require an early pickup, that means you want to pick up your children early from the school day. This must be communicated to us here at the Academy at least 2 days in advance. And the way that you communicate that is that you have to request an early leave form that you need to fill out with all of the information as to why you require an early pickup. And then you hand that back into our primary reception, and that will be either approved or unapproved by a member of our primary leadership team. Unfortunately, if you turn up on the day and require an early pickup, it's really, really difficult for us to get the children out of lessons. So it's important that you do that in advance, please. If you have not communicated to us that your child is unwell or will not be in school on that day, you will receive an email from our attendance officer. It is their job to follow up on any children that are not in school and identify the reason why. This is a safeguarding issue, and it's really important for us to know where children are at all times. So if you do get an email from our lovely attendance officers, please do reply to them really quickly so we can make a note of where your child is. If your child is off school for 2 or more days, we require a medical note from your doctor, which tells us why your child has been off for 2 or more days. This medical note needs to be emailed to your class teacher and also to our clinic team. That is the email address there for our clinic team. Our doctor will then review the medical note and they will be in contact with you in case they require any more information from you, or they require you to visit the clinic before coming back into the classroom. It may be the case that you have to visit the clinic before the children can go back into class, but they will give you all the information on that. So another service that we offer here at Wellington Khail is the STS bus service. So a transport service for you to have for your children to be picked up or dropped off after school. From years 1 to 6, we have children arriving anytime between 7:15 and 7:40 in the morning. They arrive at school at that time and they are picked up about 45 minutes before that. And then they depart school at about 3:20. So when the school day has finished at 3 o'clock for our year 1 to 4 learners, and 5 and 6 learners finish at 3:10, by the time they make their way to the bus will leave at 3:20 and they will then return back home after that. The exception to that is the departure from school on a Friday, which they will leave at 12:15. If your child does take part in this STS service and they are not going to be on the bus on a particular day, either you're going to pick them up or someone is going to pick them up for another reason, it's really important that you contact STS and our reception staff before 11 a.m. to tell us that your child will not be on the bus in the afternoon. We need you to email us as early as 11 a.m. or before that, because we need to make sure that all staff involved are fully aware of where the children are and that they won't be going on the bus and that they'll be picked up by yourselves. So please make sure that you email us before 11 a.m. if your child is not on the bus. I will now hand you over to Miss Finn. She is our Vice Principal.
Hi, good afternoon, everybody. So I'm going to talk to you about something called ECAs, which anyone who is not in a school setting will probably need to know. That stands for Extra-Curricular Activities. So these are, we do lots of extracurricular activities that run within the school day. Mr. Waterworth spoke about them earlier, such as swimming, which is not actually part of the curriculum. We do offer it every week for children from FS2. So we do things during the school day, but we also offer extracurricular activities after school, and that's what I'm going to talk to you about just now. So we run a multitude of activities after school on Tuesdays through to Thursdays, which are absolutely free and inclusive of the fees of the school, so you don't need to pay anything extra. They run most weeks of the year. However, at certain times of the year, for example, during the holy month of Ramadan or during parent-teacher meeting weeks, they will not be running. They run most weeks of the year, as I said, from FS2 through to year 13, and they cover everything from, you know, English intervention clubs to maths clubs to rock climbing, all sorts of sports, and some more vocational subjects as well, like cookery and things. So lots for the children to enjoy after school. We also, as you may have seen on the tour, have amazing facilities here at the Academy, which means that lots of external organisations want to come and work in our school. So we also offer many paid activities. So these run at an additional cost, and you would sort of organise that through the company themselves. We will advertise them through the school. But again, everything from karate lessons to additional tennis lessons, additional swimming lessons. This year we even offered parkour, which most of you will know as a sort of hobby that I think came from America, where children and adults are moving around and about in lots of strange ways and sort of obstacle courses and things. The children have loved that this year. So lots of really unique opportunities for children outside of school if you want to go down the paid ECA route as well. I know that we have lots of gymnastics clubs and things running on weekends, for example, as well. In addition to that, we have school squads. So from year 3 onwards, children are able to sort of apply to be part of the school team, which we call the squad, for lots of different sporting areas. So everything from, you know, cricket to football, swimming, etc. Your child, if they're chosen to be on the team, will then be part of a training program. Again, this is free. It's not an additional cost. And they'll come to additional lessons and things possibly before school, after school, and they'll go and compete with other schools around the UAE as well. The ECA menus are released at the beginning of each term, so we usually give the teachers and the students a couple of weeks to settle in, and then we release the ECA menus, let parents and children choose, and then they all begin round about week 3 or week 4 of each term. And then next slide, Mr. Waterworth. So every child that comes to the Academy will be assigned a house. So right from FS all the way through to year 13, your child will be part of a house at the Academy. So the houses are named after gems, with us being a gem school. So we have Pearl, Onyx, Ruby and Emerald. And the colours of the houses also link to the colours of the UAE flag. Children work towards getting house points in every lesson that they attend, including, you know, sporting events, even break times and things as well. And the winning house each term is awarded with a special treat day. So in the past, we've had everything from a movie day for those children to an inflatables day, where we've ordered inflatables onto the PE pitches for those children to enjoy. So it's really worth those children earning those points and doing well, not just academically, but also socially around school. And I'm just going to hand back over to Georgina.
Thank you, Paula. So in a few weeks' time, you will receive the Wellington Academy uniform guide. This guide you will be able to take to our Threads stores, which are located all around Dubai. The uniform can be purchased from Threads stores. And if you take in the uniform guide and say that your children are going to Wellington Academy Al Khail, they will be able to help you and support you with the uniform. So as you can see here, there are only a few slight changes between those, the uniform for boys from year 1 to 4 than it is for 5 and 6. So for the boys, that they are allowed to wear shorts from year 1 to 4, but when they get into year 5 and 6, the requirement is that they wear pinstripe trousers. And then for the girls in year 1 and 4, we have a summer dress that they can wear, and they have a skirt And then when they get into year 5 and 6, we have more of a formal longer skirt for the girls, and they have a scarf as well as a neckerchief. It is really important that all of the children here at Wellington Khail have the full school uniform. We are a premium British school, and all of the children need to look as if they are ready for learning, and that they are dressed for success. So when we have children come into the school, we always say, are you dressed for success today? Which means that they have their full school uniform on and they are ready to learn. Can I have the next slide, please, Mr. Waterworth? Thank you. So as you can see here, we also have the swimwear and the winter wear and the PE uniforms. And I know that there was a question in the chat earlier regarding the uniform and the different colours of the houses. You will be allocated a house, and you will receive that information from our admissions team. And all of the children will then buy their uniform, which will relate to the house that they're in. So for the normal school uniform, it will be the tie or the scarf, which will have the different colours in. And for the PE uniform, as you can see here, it will be a colour on the different sleeves, and that will represent the house they're in. And they will make sure, please make sure that you buy the uniform that is relevant for the houses. It's really important that all of the children follow the school uniform and wear the school uniform. And we bring in Wellington Khail school bag. And I understand that in some other schools that they have different bags that they can bring in and children can pick their own. Here we require everyone to have a Wellington Khail bag. It is also not allowed for children to bring in bags with wheels. This is a health and safety issue for us here. So we would require all children to have the correct school uniform. In each of the classes, we have a Dress for Success uniform monitor, and those children pick those children that are dressed for success every day, and they get a gold sticker, which means that they are ready for learning. And so look out for your children when they come home. If they have a Dressed for Success badge, it means that they have all of the correct school uniform. So there's a picture there of the children wearing the uniform that we require. They, on a PE day and on a swimming day, the children can wear their PE uniform. It makes it easier for changing. So please make sure that the children are wearing their PE uniform on a PE day and a swimming day. We have a mixed gender swimming lesson. However, the changing rooms are obviously segregated, and we also have individual cubicles for those children to keep their clothes in. It's really important that you label your children's uniform. I know that a number of parents visit our lost and found, and they're looking for a jumper or a tie, and it does not have a school name, their name on it, which makes it almost impossible. So it's really important that after spending your money on the uniform, that you label it correctly. Everything from the hat to the socks needs to be labeled, please. We will only allow children out in the direct sunlight if they have a hat. As we know, Dubai gets very hot, but even in the winter, we need to make sure that we are protecting our children from the sun. So they will not be allowed out in direct sunlight for playtime unless they have a hat on. So please make sure you buy one of those hats as well. They come in house colours. And I know on some of the jumpers that are sold at Threads have a hood. Some of the other schools allow this jumper for PE. Here at Wellington Khail, we do not allow jumpers with hoods. Our jumpers need to be a cardigan or a full wool jumper that is designated on our uniform list. So only the Wellington school bag. It's really important that we don't make the mistake of allowing our children to buy the school bag before the summer holidays, only to realise that it needs to be replaced.
Okay, so there's a lot of information on this slide, but I've actually taken this from the parent handbook just to sort of direct you to that. You don't need to read all of this right now, and I'm certainly not going to read it to you. Before your child starts school, so probably before the summer holidays, you will be sent the Academy Parent Guide. We're in the process of updating that at the moment because there are a few changes from last year, but all of this detailed information will be in the parent guide. If you have any siblings further down the school, we also have a nursery guide and we also have a uniform guide. You will be sent them if they're applicable to you before the summer, just to help you with all of this. So when your child is in school, you have various options to feed them during the school day. So you can either choose to send in food from home for snack time and also for lunchtime, or you can purchase food from the school cafeteria, and that food comes from a company called Slices, who are based in the school and in lots of other Dubai schools. So if you choose to go with a packed lunch, we cannot heat up any food in school. That's not allowed. You can send in hot food if you like in the thermos containers, and lots of parents choose to do that. Otherwise, you can send in cold food for your child. You can order food, as I said. All children in primary and FS, you would have to order the morning break snack. You'd have to order that online in advance the week before. So as long as you have ordered that by the Friday, the snack will then be delivered to class the following week. We don't allow any children to go to the cafeteria physically during the morning break because there's just not enough time for 1,000 children to get into the cafeteria, eat their snack and get back to class within that 20-minute period. So all snacks in the morning must be ordered or sent into school. At lunchtime, for years 1 and 2 and for FS, you must do the same thing. So you must order food in advance by the Friday before, and that will be delivered to class. But years 3 to 6 can visit the cafeteria at lunchtime, so they can go down to choose and buy their own food in the cafeteria. The cafeteria do lots of different options, hot food, cold food, and the menus will all be online. So there are lots of links that you can see which are in the parent handbook. I can just see that there's a question about if the school is providing food. So the school don't provide food for free. You would have to pay for that through the company Slices. It's at a very sort of low cost. Otherwise, you can send in food from home. Super. Your child needs to bring a bottle of water to school every day. At least 1 bottle of water. It's really important that you clean that every evening, mummies and daddies. Sometimes there are children who have water bottles that haven't been cleaned in a few days, which is not the most hygienic. We do have water coolers based around the school. If your child needs to refill that water bottle, they can absolutely go and do so throughout the day. We are also very passionate about healthy eating here at the Academy. We don't label foods as being good foods and bad foods because we don't think that is entirely a healthy message to give to the children. But we do talk about foods being healthy and nutritious and foods being treat foods. So every Tuesday, we allow the children to bring 1 treat, either from home or 1 treat that they can buy in the cafeteria. We are really trying to cut out the children that are bringing Pringles and donuts and things every day. So we really need your help with that. And we can sort of reward the children for bringing in healthy foods every day to support your child with healthy eating in school and at home. We have healthy eating monitors in class. So the healthy eating monitor will go around and give children house points and stickers and things across the school for healthy eating. And as we are a school in Dubai, we don't allow any pork products in the whole school. So please don't send in any pork products at lunchtime or for snack, whether they come from home or anywhere else. We also don't allow nuts, and we don't allow fizzy drinks that are, full of sugar and caffeine and things like that as well. And next slide, Mr. Waterworth. So we have various contacts here at the Academy, which you can reach by email. You can email reception, the school transport services, attendance, the finance team, the school clinic, if you need to submit any medical records, The Parent Relations Executive, which is your first point of call for any queries and things that you might have, even if they are sort of class-based or school-based, which perhaps is not sort of important enough for the class teacher or sort of just relevant to that class. If it's a general inquiry about the school, the Parent Relations Executive can definitely help with that. The registration team, which I'm sure you have all been emailing already, and also the Government Relations Executive, and she helps us with sort of liaising with the KHDA and just checking that we are being compliant in all areas of the school. So all of these contacts will also be in the parent guide for your reference going forward. I can also just see that we have a question in the chat about children using devices. We do have a bring your own device policy from year 3 onwards. So from year 3, children in primary must bring an iPad to school. They are not on the iPads all day. That is not what we want at all, but they do use them to support learning across the day. And I'll just hand you back over to Mr. Waterworth.
Thanks, Mrs. Finn. Yeah, so I think obviously this session here is give you a really key overview about primary and the school, and some dates for your diary that are upcoming that are going to be really important as well is our Getting Ready events. Okay, so as you can see on the screen, we have our Getting Ready events for Key Stage 1, which are our year 1 and 2 year groups. We have a Getting Ready event for Lower Key Stage 2, which is our year 3 and 4 year groups. And we also have our Upper Key Stage 2 Getting Ready event for our year 5 and 6 cohorts. Okay. Now, in those sessions, there will be our head of Key Stage, and there will also be our head of years. So as you can see on the screen, in each session, there will be 3 members of our team. In Key Stage 1, there will be Amy Rowlands, who is our head of Key Stage 1, accompanied by Yasmin Savitri and Larry Bias, who are head of years 1 and head of year 2. Similar format in Lower Key Stage 2. We have Miss Karen Brunton, who is our head of Lower Key Stage 2, and we have Alex Arnott and Mairead McManaman, who are our head of years in year 3 and year 4. And in Upper Key Stage 2, we have Mrs. Buller, our head of Upper Key Stage 2, and we have Miss Smith and Miss Durante, who are our head of years in year 5 and year 6. And they will lead the sessions on getting ready for the next year group or the year group events. And there'll be lots of information related to those year groups in those webinars. So I would definitely advise that you attend on the dates and times that are shared on the screen. If, however, you are unable to attend on those days and times, please do not worry, because all webinars will be recorded and we will share them out to parents in the near future as well, just so that you have all information that you require. Okay. Another date for your diary is our Primary Step Up Day. So this is taking place on Thursday, the 22nd of June. Now, this is taking place during the school day, and it is a transition day for students at the Academy, approximately 9 AM till roughly around about 1 PM. But further details will be shared in terms of timings in due course. Now, this is where a great opportunity for all of our primary classes to experience a day or a morning in the next year group up. So our current year 1 cohort will experience a day in year 2. Our year 2 cohort will experience a day in year 3, and so on and so forth in each year group. So it's a fantastic opportunity for them to experience what it would be like in the next year group prior to September. It's a fantastic opportunity to meet some of their class teachers who are already in Dubai and are staying with us at the Academy, who are going to be within their year group next year as well. And it's also a fantastic opportunity to show off all of their skills and what they know in terms of their understanding and knowledge with their next teacher as well. So for this day, we will be inviting all new students as well, but only those new students who are currently in Dubai. You will be invited along to the Primary Step Up Day on the Thursday, the 22nd of June. And further information will be shared with you with regards to the logistics for this. Another couple of dates for your diary as well is our next academic year, 23-24. So Monday, the 28th of August, that is our new students' first day. So prior to all of our existing returning students coming back to school, we have a day where we only invite our new students in. And that's a great opportunity for our new students to collaborate and to speak to other students who are in the same situation. Lots of our students obviously are traveling from abroad. So it's really nice to have those and make some familiar connections with students and to start those friendships as well with new students on Monday, the 28th of August, prior to all of our existing students coming back in on Tuesday, the 29th of August. So 2 important dates in terms of the academic calendar for the end of August to start our new academic year. And last but not least, we do have lots of social media platforms, and just as an oversight, we have our Instagram, Twitter and Facebook pages. Now, these are our Academy pages, so this will be information shared as a whole, all the way from nursery right the way through to our 6th form. In the Getting Ready events in a couple of weeks' time, our year groups will also share some year group level social media platforms that you may want to start following as well in preparation for starting in the new academic year as well. Now, I know there's been lots of questions that have been asked in the chat, and I think Mr. Cooper, you're still around. I think you just wanted to end.
Yes, if you could unshare your screen, so I suppose everyone can take a look at our faces, hopefully. I hope this session has been useful to you. If you do have any questions, please pop them in the chat. Just a few pieces of information, really, in terms of you consider. We know that many of our families who are joining us will be coming from another country or from another school with different systems. And sometimes, particularly if you're more siblings, lots of children in the school, who have multiple children, it can be quite overwhelming. And so this session was just really about to give you a taster and to give you some key piece of information to think about in terms of obviously STS and planning, whether your child's going to bring a packed lunch or whether you're going to allow them to buy food in school. I think the key message really is obviously we will continue to drip feed information as the year goes on. We obviously have our next sessions that will be an opportunity for you to meet your head of year and your head of phase, and we'll talk more specifically about the year groups that your children are in terms of how they compare for the year group that they're going to be starting in. So those will be really useful, but we'll also drip feed information in terms of allocating your class teacher, and we'll be sharing out our parent guide, which will also have some more information in to help you settle into and prepare yourselves for the new academic year. And when you start, when you're starting at the end of August, we'll also be sharing with you a induction plan for parents, where we can talk you through lots of different aspects of the school and really help you set yourself up and establish yourself as a parent and a member of the community here at the Academy. And equally, there'll be opportunities in the first few weeks to meet your class teacher face to face, to ask questions and really find out all the kind of key details for your child's specific class and their year group. So please don't worry if you've still got some questions after this session. Like I say, we're going to drip feed this information through. But what I would also like you to know that if you do have any questions that are, anything that's on your mind, then please reach out to the registration team or a member of our team, and we'll be happy to answer any question that you have. We know that you're coming from all over the world, lots of different cultural contexts, and things operate very differently here in Dubai than perhaps where you're coming from. So no question is silly. So please feel free to reach out to us because we're always here. So if I'll just check the questions and we'll go through those, but if you have no questions, then thank you so much for your time. And I hope this has just give you a bit of a flavour of just helping you answer a few kind of simple questions about buses, etc. And if we don't see you from now until August, please have a wonderful, safe travels out to Dubai or transition across the Academy. We look forward to seeing you all and your children face to face at the end of August. So thank you very much. Like I say, we'll stay on and answer any questions verbally that are in the chat. But if you have no further questions, then feel free to go and enjoy the rest of your day. Thank you. So I know Paul has been answering things about anti-bullying policies, etc. So all of that information, how we respond to kind of anti-bullying and behaviour, etc., will be shared with your kind of child's class teachers as we move through to August. In terms of the the calendar, if you go onto our school website, all the key term dates and when the school holidays are posted on there. We can also get those sent out to you as well. So if you reach out to your registration team, we can send out the school calendar dates to you. We can get them reshared as well if they've not been emailed out already.
Mr. Cooper, we had a question about children from the same countries being in the same classes. We may do that if we think that it would be good for your child in their transition. We also know that sometimes children from the same countries might have the same needs to be learning English. So sometimes we will try to split large groups of those children up to make sure that they are getting the English that they need modelled from the other children in the class. And all classes will be multicultural. Can I just remind any parents of FS children that tomorrow the wonderful FS team are hosting 2 events. It's the same event which is repeated twice. So if you like, you can join them online at 2 p.m. tomorrow. You should have received the Zoom link already, or you can join them in the school and come and meet them face to face at 5:30 tomorrow evening.
That looks like everything in terms of questions. So if you do have any questions that have been unanswered, then please reach out to our registration team. But for now, I think we'll end this session now. It's been wonderful to have everybody here. Have a wonderful day, and we look forward to seeing you very, very soon. Thank you. Goodbye.